Hello everyone, back tuning in to the final Christmas update. Well, this is it. We had 25 penciled in on the 1st of November when we did the first Christmas 2017 update. And we've reached the end now. So we've got this final Christmas update to do. I'll talk you through the weather that we're expecting throughout the whole of the Christmas period. There will be some colder weather in there. There might even be a little bit of wintry weather through northern parts of the country after Christmas and between New Year. My main message is that it's a very unsettled Christmas period with low pressure never far away, so expect quite a lot of rain and quite cold rain as well once we get Christmas Day out of the way. Up to Christmas Day it is remaining quite mild, in fact very mild down in the south. So not going to be a particularly seasonable, cold, crisp Christmas. Certainly not going to be like the Christmas we had in 2010 where we had all of that deep snow cover over ground. It was freezing cold. We had huge icicles, that kind of thing, real Dickensian Christmas. Nothing like that this year, so that will remain a nice memory for most of us, and this year it's going to be more typical of what we tend to get in this country at Christmas, which is pretty wet and often fairly cold as well. So I'll talk you through the final Christmas update in a moment, just to say that over the Christmas period, things will continue to be updated at Gavs Weather. So I've got the weekend forecast coming up on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we will have the historic bin. I'll talk more about that at the end of this 25th and final Christmas update. But let's get on with Christmas update. Just say a big thank you by the way to everybody who did their shopping through the Christmas shop this year. The Amazon shop been a huge success. Not plugging it now because really we've run out of time. But that is there all year round, actually, the Gav shop. So if you have any Christmas shop, if you have any shopping to do at Amazon, it doesn't have to be Christmas shopping to have any sort of shopping to do at Amazon. You can do it through the Gav shop page. But a big thank you to everybody for doing that for the website. Again, this Christmas. So let's get on with the final Christmas update. We're going to begin tomorrow, 23rd of December. Which isn't really anything to do with Christmas, of course, but there will be a lot of people travelling around, visiting friends and family and probably doing their shopping as well. So this is how things are looking tomorrow. We've got high pressure to our south for Christmas Eve, with a bit of low pressure coming into the north of Scotland. Notice the isobars are tightening here from the north. So it is turning windier up in the north, but in the south, the winds are still relatively light, close to that high pressure. We're still bathed in that very mild air that's been dragged up from the middle part of the Atlantic, really mild from most parts of the country today, and it's mainly dry. There's a little bit of showery rain across the north and west of Scotland tomorrow, but most places they're going to be dry. I suppose if there's a lot of cloud, we may have dampness in the air, but I think we do have a better chance actually of breaking up that cloud, lifting it up a little bit tomorrow, and probably punching through a few bright or sunny spells. It's a very mild day as well tomorrow. Temperatures here are being signalled to be at around sort of 9 to 13 degrees, but I suspect if the sun comes out, it could go higher than that. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we saw temperatures up to 14, maybe 15 degrees perhaps tomorrow, if the sun comes out. And that being more generally to the east of high ground as well. But certainly a very mild day, and not too bad at all if you've got any last-minute Christmas shopping to do tomorrow. Right, go through to Christmas Eve, and it's still looking generally dry. We have got low pressure heading into the northwest of Scotland. It's taken a long time to do it. At one point, a couple of updates ago, you remember we were supposed to be dropping a cold front down across the country through Christmas Eve, bringing quite a lot of rain. That's been delayed, so now it's looking like away from northwest Scotland. Anyway, most places are dry. The ice bars have tightened further, so it's quite a windy day. But away from northwest, it should be mainly dry. The upper air temperatures are still very mild, so it is going to be a very mild Christmas Eve. We've got a band of rain here through Northern Ireland into west and southwest Scotland through the morning. Probably gets a bit heavier through the afternoon. Temperatures look like that, so it's a little bit colder across Scotland, with temperatures down into single figures, but most parts of the country still looking at another very, very mild day on Christmas Eve, with temperatures going up to around 10, 11, 12 degrees, and again, you may be able to lift that higher than that, possibly to 13 or 14, tempered, of course, by that wind. As we go through to Christmas Day then, this is how Christmas Day looks on the 25th and final Christmas update. Low pressure is developing along that weather front out to the west. The ice bars are still quite tightly packed for the south, but they're not as tightly packed for the north. So it won't be as windy in the north, but that's where the rain is going to be on Christmas Day. Still, most of the country in those mild to very mild upper air temperatures. It's a bit colder for Scotland and Northern Ireland, but the really proper cold winter air is actually with the -5 ice firm, and that's just lying across the far north of Scotland at midday on Christmas Day. So that's how the precipitation is looking for Christmas Day. It looks wet through Scotland and Northern Ireland, again particularly southern and southwest Scotland, down into both Northern and the Republic of Ireland. To the north of that, it's a bit colder. Those showers in the very far north might turn a bit wintry, so you've got a white Christmas for Lerwick, perhaps. Then they might get a little bit there. But generally, it's just rain across much of Scotland. England and Wales looking dry through the morning, but through Christmas afternoon, that band of wet weather starts to push eastwards, heading in towards Wales and South West England by Christmas evening, and then that'll carry on eastwards overnight, Christmas night, to give quite a wet sort of night, Christmas night, into Boxing Day. There's the temperature, so they are colder across Scotland on Christmas Day. We're seeing temperatures across Scotland down into low to mid-single figures. Colder for Scotland as well, for Northern Ireland as well, 4 or 5 degrees there, but much of England and Wales still looking very mild, with temperatures into double figures. So this is going to be another really mild Christmas Day to add to the recent mild Christmases that we had since that Dickensian Christmas of 2010. We really have had a long run now of mild Christmases. This is another one for England and Wales, anyway, that we're going to have to add to the list. You will think by just probability we're going to have to get a colder Christmas before too much longer, but it's certainly not going to be this year away, anyway, from Scotland and Northern Ireland. However, by Boxing Day, things will be colder, into a colder air mass by then. We've got the next area of low pressure waiting in the wings across Ireland, and that's going to be heading in through the course of the day. Winds are turning into the north on the northern side of this area of low pressure, so cold air will be starting to move southwards. There's the upper air temperatures, and they do look a lot colder on Boxing Day, particularly so for the north, but all areas will be significantly colder by the time you get through to Boxing Day. Have a dry morning, maybe with some frost and ice in the morning on Boxing Day, but there'll be some decent sunny spells too. Through the afternoon, that band of wet weather spreads in across England and Wales. We've got heavy rain in with that. I wouldn't rule out the chance of some snow on the northern edge of that low pressure, which would likely be across the Northern Ireland and possibly parts of Northern England. You'll particularly focus on the Pennines for that, but generally it's wet weather, outbreaks of rain moving in across England and Wales. Scotland misses that and remains dry and cold with sunny spells and maybe a wintry shower. So temperatures are looking cold on Boxing Day, much colder compared to the days before. So for Scotland, we are struggling to get those temperatures above freezing. I think it's a little bit over top, and I would suspect 2-3 degrees is more likely for Northern Ireland, for Scotland. For Northern Ireland, you've got temperatures there around 1 to sort of 5 degrees. So that's cold enough for a bit of snow if that rain band gets far enough north. For Northern England, we're between around 2 to 4 degrees. Again, that could be cold enough for a little bit of snow on the northern edge of that rain band. That would be most likely over Pennines. The rest of England and Wales, generally between, say, 4 and 7 degrees. Quite mild still down in the far southwest, but most England and Wales between 4 and 7. And so that's going to be mostly rain. It's not quite cold enough for anything wintry there, but it will be quite cold rain, and it will feel a lot colder compared to what we have on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We go through to the 27th of December. That low pressure is getting out of the way to the east. It's turning the winds into the north. So, kind of northerly wind here for the day after Boxing Day. That's a proper northerly as well. So it is cold across all parts of the country. Brought -5 isotherm through the UK. There's wintry showers in the north, possibly something a bit wintry on the east coast as well. Otherwise, a lot of dry weather with sunny spells on the 27th of December. And this is how temperatures are looking. They are cold, so many central and northern parts of the country. Again, it is signalling an ice day, temperatures below freezing. And I do that's a bit over the top. You probably see temperatures going more to around 1 or 2 degrees. Except where you've got snow cover, of course, and that will be over hills and mountains. Further south, when it's a cold day, even down in the south on the 27th, we're only up to 3 to 6 degrees generally through much of Wales and Midlands and down into southern England. So by the 27th, we will feel the chill after those very mild days before and over Christmas. We get to 28th, low pressure is starting to move back in from off the Atlantic, coming into that quite cold air. There's some sort of trough moving in here. You can see that from the elongation within the isobars. The cold upper air temperatures are still there through most of the country, so there's a band of precipitation lying through Northern Ireland, Wales and southwestern England. That's quite interesting because it started to push eastwards, coming through parts of central southern England into the Midlands as well during the afternoon of the 28th of December. And it's cold. Look at that. We've seen temperatures through much of Wales and the Midlands only at 1 or 2 degrees and barely above freezing further north. So 28th of December could bring a little bit of snow even through parts of Wales and the Midlands here on this particular run. Bear in mind, this is some way off now. We're nearly a week away, so it is unreliable. But it does look cold again there on the 28th of December, and we do have the chance of some wintry conditions across parts of central England and Wales in particular. Beyond that, we go through to Friday the 29th of December, and the winds are going westerly, quite a strong westerly coming in here with another area of low pressure. The upper air temperatures are still looking pretty cold. That's going to be quite a chilly westerly wind, to say the least, because it is a strong wind that we've got blowing there on Friday 29th. There's wintry showers across Scotland and other western parts of the country, England and Wales, having plenty of dry weather. Those are the temperatures. They've lifted up a little bit down across England and Wales, but only sort of 4 or 5 degrees. And in the north, we're only at sort of 1 to 3 degrees through Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England. So pretty cold again there as we go through to Friday the 29th of December. We're not looking at minimum temperatures here, by the way, so there'll probably be a risk of frost and ice as well during this period by night on untreated roads and pavements after Christmas. Saturday, 30th of December looks like that. Low pressure is moving in from off the Atlantic, or it's still dominating from off the Atlantic, but still quite a cold sort of wind blowing across the country. Upper air temperatures are lifting up a bit across England and Wales, but it still looks quite cold for Scotland. A lot of dry weather in with that as well. Some showery bursts of rain. They could still be wintry through Scotland, Northern Ireland, England and Wales having a reasonable amount of dry weather. Those temperatures are beginning to lift up though. In the south, we're heading back towards double digits, so going back towards 10 or 11 degrees across southern areas. Further north, central northern Britain, on the 30th of December, still quite cold really, but not as cold as the days before. So we're at sort of 4 or 5 degrees across northern England and Northern Ireland, and Scotland is a little bit lower than that. This is how New Year's Eve is looking. We're bringing low pressure through across the country. We've gone out beyond a week now, so obviously this is all much more speculative and unreliable, and for the New Year period we'll keep you posted on this in the coming days. But at the moment it's looking still quite cold and showery. If anything, the upper air temperatures look fairly chilly, especially so in the north. There's some sort of band of rain slipping southwards here on New Year's Eve, affecting England and Wales, with cold and more showery, brighter conditions following to the north. It's a colder day again, so that push up in the temperatures on the third shift doesn't last long. and it's only for the south anyway, by New Year's Eve we're down just into sort of 3 to 7 degrees again for much of England and Wales, and further north across northern England, Northern Ireland and Scotland it's colder than that, with temperatures of just 1, 2 or 3 degrees, so quite a cold New Year's Eve, if we believe this run. That's how New Year's Day is looking, a bit further out still, so again it is unreliable. Winds have turned into the north on this particular run of the GFS. Yesterday, by New Year's Day, the models were trying to bring up very balmy southerly winds. It's a complete flip of that today. We're bringing down northerly winds. So obviously this is unreliable by this point. There's a lot of chopping and changing going on. This latest run of the GFS midday run wants to turn the winds into the north on New Year's Day, give us quite a cold start to 2018, particularly so for northern parts of the country, but all areas again looking quite chilly. A lot of dry weather, a few wintry showers draped around the coast, but most places are dry and sunny. But it's cold. Temperatures in the north, again, just 2 to 5 degrees. In the south, something like 3 to 6 degrees. So pretty cold opening day of the new year. And then just going beyond the new year, so we're going to the first days of January. This is how the 2nd of January is looking. The next weather system starting to move in from off the Atlantic. That's probably bringing a band of cloud, maybe preceded by something wintry through northern parts of the country. Low pressure dominating on the 3rd of January. It's a bit milder as well, with winds coming in more from west southwesterly direction. Showers or longer spells of rain would be likely there. We keep low pressure going into the 4th of January as well, so more showers or longer spells of rain. By the 5th of January, the low pressure starting to pull away to the east and try and get wind back into the north again. So by the 5th of January, it's beginning to turn colder, maybe with showers turning wintry again up across the northern and western parts of the country, leading to a cold day by Saturday the 6th of January. We're back into northerly winds with wintry showers, particularly so for northern and western parts of the country. I mean, as far as we can go is to Sunday the 7th of January, where we're trying to bring a weather system back in from the Atlantic. It's still cold at this point, but if we could go on another day, I suspect we would see these weather systems moving in from the Atlantic, bringing milder air back in, and then off we go again into a milder, wetter situation. So that's it. That is the 25th and final Christmas update, and all we can say really is that up to Christmas Day it's looking very mild. A lot of dry weather for England and Wales, colder for Scotland and Northern Ireland by Christmas Day, wetter also there, but it's not really till Boxing Day that we start to push colder air right way down across the country. And then we've still got that period between Christmas and New Year where it's generally looking pretty cold, especially so for northern parts, and there does appear to be some wintry potential in there as well, and we will have to firm up on the detail on that as we get closer to the period, because it's too far away. But the general idea is mild up to Christmas, colder after Christmas, and also cold and unsettled after Christmas with some wintry potential. New Year is chopping and changing a lot for the new year at the moment. Yeah, I say yesterday we were just bringing up balmy southerly winds by New Year's Day from North Africa. Today we're focusing on northerly winds by New Year's Day. So the new year is obviously up for grabs, a lot of chopping and changing. There's a chance it could be quite a cold start to 2018. But I suspect if it is cold for New Year's Day, it will only be a cold snap, because the overall situation is generally very changeable, with showers or longer spells of rain, and with wintry potential as well when we bring down those northerly winds. Right, so that's it. That is the 25th and final Christmas update. So, hope you've enjoyed this year's updates. There hasn't been too much of a roller coaster, I don't think. We didn't really get many very cold runs with the CFS, which I think has kept everybody's feet on the ground, actually. So it's probably been a little bit better this year in terms of not having the ups and downs that we tend to get when we're doing these Christmas updates. And all it remains is to say have a great Christmas. But I will be keeping things updated over the coming days. So as I say, tomorrow we've got a free Saturday. I'll probably have a look at weather next week, 10 days then. Christmas Eve, we're going to, as always, do the week ahead forecast. So that will again cover the full Christmas period up to New Year, with weekend forecast on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, we've got our historic weather video, as always, on a bank holiday and on Christmas Day. We're going to do a historic weather video this year. We're looking at the first cold winter of that run of cold winters from 2008-9 to 2012-2013. So the first one is obviously 08-09. And that will be this year's Christmas Day historic weather video, starting with the snow at the end of October, going through the winter into the big snow event that happened through the first half of February 2009. So I think that will be quite an interesting one for most of you. Right, that's it. Thanks for watching.